Welcome to the Metabreakers Podcast number 30. We have your beautiful host once again here for the first time before your eyes today. You have your Daniel Money, DmoneyGames, Hearthstone extraordinaire, Warshack, our meme deck brewer extraordinaire, and then myself, DracoCatt, your demon hunter icon here for your pleasure. Welcome to the new rebranded Metabreakers Podcast. I hope it stimulates your eyeballs. How are you boys doing today? And how is your 25-hour birthday stream, D-Money?
Man, this podcast, the production value, oh my god, I don't think you can find this anywhere else on Twitch. I don't know, that's what I'm saying, but I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, I just turned 25 yesterday. Attempted a 25-hour stream. I had to quit after 17 hours because time just was not moving, but I'm here. I'm feeling good. Ready to talk about some juicy topics, as always, with you guys. How's it going, Warshack?
It's good. It's good. Happy belated birthday again. I noticed you had a pretty good stream yesterday. I know you're lacking of sleep as well. You didn't get much of that, so I appreciate you hanging on today and tuning into our regular scheduled paid program at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Metabreakers Podcast. Remember that, guys, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. No, but I'm doing good. I recently hit Legend early with Treant Druid, and we're like, I got surprisingly placed highly into Legend, so I'm gonna see if I can hit first the goal is top 1,000 with the big decks Big Shaman, Big Warrior, and now possibly Big Quest, Demon, Warlock, and then after that's maybe top 500 if it goes well. But it's the first time I've actually let's see if we can hit a decent rank with a decks that I like. So we'll see.
What do you mean maybe? What do you? That's not what I want to hear. That shouldn't be in your vocabulary.
You got to be confident. You got to say when.
Yeah,
well,
you're gonna be a 3-digit gamer.
Everybody's playing all these tier 1 decks, and my little Big Shaman just can't hold on sometimes, man. King Pharaohs just sometimes summons Doomsayers when that can't happen.
Yeah, that's not the way you win games. Summoning Doomsayers.
No, it is not.
Feoras. So we've been jokingly and ironically using the term 3-digit gamer a lot, and it sounds like you're about to be in the 3-digit gamer threshold, Warshack, and I'm so proud.
What's 3-digit gamer? You mean
it means you have 3 digits in your legend rank.
Oh. Yeah, this is the first time in a while. A lot of the time it's a significant amount of numbers.
Right.
So it's pretty exciting to be playing against, top 1,000 people in Legend and then beating them with my fun decks.
Generally, my job on ladder is being the 3-digit gamer gatekeeper. That's pretty much what my job is, to give people that demon hunter wall before they get their 3 digits.
You've been hanging pretty low though. I've been seeing you anywhere between 4 and 600.
Yeah, I've been having
pretty
a good month.
Yeah.
We've been doing okay in the den. Demon Hunter's in a good spot. It's okay.
Demon Hunter is in a very good spot.
Sometimes you just get unlucky though. You can lose okay, so this is my perspective on this, right? So everyone is Demon Hunter's the best deck in the meta, right? But there are other really good decks, and Demon Hunter can lose against all of them. None of the matchups are super polarized for the Demon Hunter. All of the ones that it's good against, you have a 55-45 favorability, meaning that you can very, very easily just have the rugs ripped right underneath of you and lose the game still.
Yeah, that's my job. Yeah.
Yeah, right. and we had this really, really in-depth conversation, and there are some people involved. So Sizolko, I don't know if you guys know him in chat. He posted this tweet where he said that there's no way for me to deal with this, and he was playing Demon Hunter against Mage, and they had 2 mana giants out on turn 4, right? And it's true, when you're playing Demon Hunter and the Mage knows that that's the way they win the game, they win the game pretty much whenever that happens, because you don't have the reach to clear it as a Demon Hunter. And someone in his chat was writing, they're like, well, that matchup is practically a 101 situation because Demon Hunter always beats the Mage. And then Sizolko was like, no, actually that is not the case. In fact, Mage is probably favored against Demon Hunter if the Mage players know how to play against Demon Hunter. And then Rami, the GM, came in a situation, and then he was like, you know what? Sizolko is correct, because in GM, Mage is favored against Demon Hunter because
tempo mage.
all of the Mage players know how to play against Demon Hunter with Mage specifically, to the point where they can bend those matchups to be in their perspective, even though statistically on ladder, yes, Demon Hunter is favored. But what do you think about that hot take, D-Money? Huh?
I played a lot of that tempo mage, and I feel like it's. I don't want to disagree with Rami. I'm sure he's very wise. But I still feel like DH is favored. I do feel like it's just favored like a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's. I mean, I also haven't played really the version with Conjure's Calling, so that could really make it favored for Mage, or at least make it like a 50-50, but I'd say it's really close, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like a very even matchup, I would say. But
Like, I mean, there's so much RNG in Mage, like, you never know, like, if you're gonna get ice barriers off your magic tricks or something, or
frost bolts, the
frost
delay,
bolts,
the
yeah,
turns.
even deep freeze, something like that. Like, there's so many variables. Like, you could like evolve into like, or like Conjure's Calling your mana giant into like some taunts or something. It's like you never really know what you're in for in that matchup. And then of course, like, the Demon Hunter could just not draw their blade dances or something like that, or have like a slow start. Yeah, it's pretty. I still feel like it's Demon Hunter favored, but
Yeah. There
it's-
is a way that you can scam it to make it so that the Demon Hunter
Definitely.
can't win. So, and you can kind of, if you know that the way to get there, you kind of make that your route when you play the deck, right? You have a better chance.
yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because whenever I'm playing against mages on ladder, on stream, I always like tell people, I'm like, all right, we're gonna play this like we're playing against D-Money. And what does he not like it when you do? And then everyone's like puts the smork emote in the thing. And so we just like constantly, like all the time, we have the options to trade. And I know that I want to go face. I'm like, you know what? What does the mage hate? And they're like, oh yeah, they hate it when you drill all the damage into their face. So
It
we
sounds
avoid
like you're
all of
like-
his minions.
It sounds like you're like a Demon Hunter teacher at like Scholomance Academy or something.
That's exactly what he
just-
is.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we could interact with this board a little bit, but we should probably just take all the damage home, because that's what they don't want you to do.
We want to make D-Money slam his desk as hard as possible, guys. So
Right.
I'm glad that I
honest-
could be used for your examples there. Thank you. I'm honored.
Thank you.
Does Demon Hunter really make you mad? D-Money still?
Yes.
Like, out of all the classes right now, Demon Hunter really just sets the tilt in?
I mean, there's a lot of classes that set the tilt in, but Demon Hunter is definitely one of them. Yes.
Interesting.
Every single day, a Demon Hunter will wand maker into a consume magic and ruin my whole entire day. I don't know, wand maker. I was talking to Draco about this yesterday. He was in my stream when I was getting scammed by wand maker. And it's just like, I don't know, whenever they play a wand maker against me, like, everybody's like, oh, there's no RNG in Soul DH because it's all cards in their deck. And that's exactly what you say all the time, Warshack. Yeah. And it's just wand maker, and it always finds a way to scam me. I don't know how they do it.
There was a post on Reddit that has wand maker being like one of the best neutral cards played this entire expansion. Its played rate went from like 5% to like over 20% now in like most decks across
yeah
ladders.
It's because the standard pool is so low right now on cards, so that they're
It's
like
not
every
even-
class.
It's in like all the wild decks though. Like, it's not even just good in standard. Like, you run it in Quest Mage, you run it in Razakis Priest now. Like, I mean,
I guess 1-mana spells are just insane across the board. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the power level of the decks that it's found in. The 1-mana spells. So like Demon Hunter has like very powerful 1-mana spells. Priest, because of like Renew and stuff, very powerful 1-mana spells. If you have Mage, you have like Ray of Frost, Evocation, Tome. You just have like all these 1-mana spells that are also extremely powerful there. So like the Wand Maker in certain decks, like the 1-mana spells are just really, really, really good.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was playing a THL match the other day with Wild Quest Mage, and my opponent like completely beat me. And then I had one Wand Maker and a dead hand. That was like all I had left, and I played it, and it gave me an evocation. I was like, oh fuck. And then it just like, obviously at that point I was able to like freeze this board, stay in the game, draw more cards, just like do some completely busted stuff. And that entire possibility shouldn't have even been there, really. It was like I had like a 1 in like 12 chance to get an evocation, which turned into like 10 cards. One maker's good.
Yeah.
The possibilities are really wide for most decks with that card. And it's not bad tempo either. 2 mana, 2/2, get a card in your hand. That's something that most of us would play,
No, yeah, that's why it's seeing its played rate like skyrocket. And that's why a lot of people do play it. But if we want to take a look at the meta here, I don't see anything really changing that much. It looks like Mage went up a little bit and Shaman went down. But besides that, we have Paladin, Hunter, Demon Hunter, all above that 50% win rate. Paladin's still just remaining number 1, and I'm assuming that's going to be a mixture of the Pure Paladin and the Funky Monkeys Broom Paladin.
Well, actually, Hunter was number 1
week.
Oh.
So now Paladin has overtaken that, and
Hunter's got the same win rate though. That's an important thing to note as well, because last week Hunter was at 53.9%, and this week it's at 53.9%, and Paladin's at 54. So it didn't really like move down. Paladin just like is getting there,
I'm telling you, man.
I think as more people, as more people learn to like use the pen flingers with like the Librum kind of Paladin thing, then I feel like it's just gonna keep going up because it is still strong. It has its matchups, and it's really good against Demon Hunter, which we're seeing a lot on ladder. So it kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
The interactions with Penflinger are fucking crazy, dude. Like, do you ever see the thing that happens with pressure plate in that card?
Yeah, if they were going to change Penflinger, it should be that when it dies, like during its like returning to your hand, then it's just dead. That would be like the only change I can make to it, honestly.
Have you seen the pressure plate interaction?
So if it gets pressure plated, it doesn't die?
It gets hit with the little thing, like it does die, and then it comes back into your hand.
Yep.
That's kind of messed up.
And then it comes back to you. Yep.
Yeah, so you play the pen flinger, then you play a spell to return it. The pressure plate goes off, hits your pen flinger, and effectively it does nothing.
Dude, that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
It's the same with like any effect with it. Like if you Pyromancer and then the Pyromancer effect kills it, it still comes back to your hand if you cast a spell. Like it's that's like the only part that's like really it doesn't jive with me well. I don't know.
That's
weird. Not good. Another.
Oh my god! I saw a crazy interaction, and I spent the entire yesterday morning thinking about it, and I'm glad we can talk about this on the stream because I don't know if any of you guys can make sense of this, but so one of the members of my Discord, he posted a video of him playing Demon Hunter, where his opponent played Mag Therodon, and he played as Mag Therodon, right? But then he used a consume magic on one of the warders that came out of his own Mag Therodon, right? On the opposing side of the board, which generally I wouldn't tell. Wow, you shouldn't do that. That's like probably a misplay. I mean, the way it ended doesn't make sense to me here, but like you don't silence your own warders because as we've discussed on this podcast before, that if you silence a warder and kill it, it doesn't count. So like, right. So silencing a warder and killing it is a way to make Mag never awake. But if when he silenced his own warder, he then drew a mystic off of it and then killed all of the warders on both sides of the board, and his Mag awoken, and then killed the other one. So,
dude, I told you that other time. Like that's you were saying that if you silence it, it doesn't work. But I don't think that's how it works.
No, that is how it works. I have confirmed this. I have seen other people confirm this. But if you have warders on both sides of the board, they both count for both Mags somehow.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like
because it doesn't say your warders, it just says if this card dies. Like if this type of card dies, right? Which doesn't even make sense with the silence thing. Everything about this is fucked up. Everything about the wording, the interaction, and what happened is fucked up because it doesn't say the wardens that get summoned by this mag, and also silencing a card doesn't make that card's name change. It doesn't change the card from not dying. So yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Yo, we also got a big raid from Squirrel, so thank you, Squirrel, and happy
welcome,
birthday.
Squirrel viewers. Happy birthday. Yeah. Well, I spent my whole day thinking about that yesterday, so I'm glad you guys can kind of just agree with me that it's completely ridiculous. So
No,
thank you.
yeah.
I mean,
The other-
looking at the text on Hellfire, sorry, Warshack has been trying to get this thing out for like 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Um, looking at the text for Hellfire Warder, it says Mag Therodon will destroy all minions in Awaken after 3 warders die. So it does make sense, that wording. It's just like, yeah, it's really, it's just like one of those Hearthstone interactions that like you have to do to like know.
But why does silencing it make that not happen? Also, you know, like because it's still dying.
It's one of those interactions, man. I don't know, man.
It's like if you silence a Death Rattle minion and then you resurrect the Death Rattle card, it still resurrects the Death Rattle minion, even though you silenced it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know,
But yeah, the meta looks pretty normal. I mean, Paladin's getting better, Hunter's staying the same, Demon Hunter's getting a little bit worse, Warrior getting a little bit better, Mage getting better, Rogue slightly, and everything else is more or less the same. Pretty bad. Yeah.
It's interesting to see Druid at the bottom, though. A lot of people are finding success with the old style Guardian Animals, Survival of the Fittest Druid. I know Kraken and I think Ox have been doing quite well at around top 100 Legend with Druid. So it's interesting to see Druid low, but yet people performing very, very well with it.
I love it when I queue into that deck because before, like a week ago, everyone was playing Quest Druid, and that was like the worst thing to play against ever with Demon Hunter. And even though the Druid matchup's really bad for Demon Hunter, then the Guardian Druid is doable. The Quest one is just not. So whenever I see that they don't play the Quest now and they're running that version, like I internally get a tiny bit of joy. Like I'm like, wow, this is back, and this is the deck that I can beat. Thank
Yeah,
God.
the matchup's not bad. You think the change really made it like winnable?
Oh, I mean, it was always winnable if you knew how to play it. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
with Demon Hunter, if you played a ton of Demon Hunter, like, and you queue into a Druid, you could do it, you know? Sometimes. I mean, sometimes you just lose. You know, they get like an Ysera out on turn 5, and then they overflow on your turn 6, and then there's like, 9 Deathwings on the board, or and then you're done. But yeah, generally you can deal with it and you can spar with that deck. But I would say the nerf does help the matchup more because Guardian Animals comes out a turn later, and that's good. It's good for everyone. You can only do it on turn 2 now, not turn 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing a decent amount of Druid, still Tempo Mage, of course, a lot of Soul Demon Hunter, and then I've been seeing a lot of Enraged Warrior this week. I think the main reason for that is Monsanto had reached number 1 with Enraged Warrior. It was a unique list that had like 2 of the 4 attack weapon that I can't think of the name.
The Scythe?
Yes, the Reaper Scythe. And yeah, it's just an Enraged Warrior, and it's been doing very well. Everyone's been playing it. That's why I've been like, that's like the deck that I like faced the most this week. I don't know if you guys see it as well, but that seems to be like taking over quite a bit.
Yeah, I played a good bit of those.
I have to see if I play against it today. I didn't play yesterday, so we'll see.
I mean, I like that deck being in the meta. Like, I mean, I know it's really good, and it's super annoying with the bombs and like the skippers and the grunts.
No bombs. Wait, what do you say?
Well, they have the bomb wranglers.
Some of them.
Yeah. Well, all the ones I played have been running bomb wrangler. Are you saying some people are cutting that card?
Yeah. I think they run Quartermaster instead. I don't know. There's a couple different variations.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes back to like the combo kind of thing that I personally don't like. Like the Corcoran combo. I literally just died from 30 yesterday. Or today technically.
What is it from? It's Corcoran, Inner Rage, Rampage, Commander. Is that the combo? But that's too much mana,
well,
right?
It's not even Rampage anymore. It's the Shield of Honor card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they can like easily get 24 burst damage. And then if they have the coin, then it's like 32 or something. But yeah, they can easily get 24 damage, so you always have to be like wary of that. And like the guy had a 5 attack weapon and a 1/1 on the board, so I thought I was fine at 30 HP with a 5 attack weapon, a 1/1. He had like 9 cards in his deck. I was about to win next turn. I'm feeling good, just chilling the chat. We're just laughing, having a grand old time. And then he just pulls this combo out of his butt and smacks me for 30, and it was over.
Yeah, it can't feel good to be at like 30 health, play well the whole game, right? And then to think you're safe because he's only representing 6, maybe 10 more, possibly, and then to just get like beat down by a combo you can't really interact with other than taunts. But like, you know what I mean? That's not a great way to like lose.
I mean, at least the taunt keyword actually works against that class, so can't be too mad.
Yeah, and evidently D-Money also didn't unveil that he was playing against the Grandmaster when this happened as well. So not only was he playing against this and it was going grand, but he was playing against a person who is like a Grandmaster. So
I mean, I'm the GM killer. I always beat GMs on ladder. That's just a thing. But
okay,
that means nothing to me.
I see that.
Sometimes I just hope like if I beat someone with a gold card back, I'll get the gold card back, but it never works. I don't know.
You think it'll work like what is that card? The Blood of Hanar. What is that card called? When it was Hakar.
Oh, the corrupted.
Hakar.
Yeah, the corrupted bloods.
Like the card back, like I'm gonna just
yeah, you just get it from playing against someone where it's like you are infected with the Grandmasters.
Yes.
Only if imagine, right?
All right,
I just want to. Sorry, before we go into the top 1K, I just want to talk about one interaction that I've found. Somebody posted on Twitter. I think it was like Darrock.
Before you go, is it the Potion of Illusion one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to bring up like 5 times.
I'm sorry.
And you're like, I'm sorry. Okay, good. All right, glad we're on the same page.
You
Continue.
can do it. You can do it.
No, I'm good, dude. I've been shut down too many times.
I'm sorry. So, if you guys didn't know, like a lot of people, Potion of Illusion has been changed a little bit. So if you Potion of Illusion, let's say a Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, which is a 9-mana card, and then you play that card and you try to Conjure's Calling the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza that is a 1-mana, or that's a 1/1, but it still says 9 on it when you play it. It turns into It turns into 2 1-cost minions.
What?
Yes, that is the new change. They didn't release that information anywhere on the patch notes at all. I looked all over. Nobody said anything about it. You just had to figure it out yourself, and I did on my stream. Got 2 1-costs when I tried to Conjure's like a 5-drop, and I was very confused because I had played this card a million times and I had never seen this result. I thought I was going crazy. Yeah, that just like came out of nowhere, and I've ever like literally like it's happened to like 15 people that I've played against as well because they had no idea too, and they always emote after they do it because they're like, oh shit, like this is a thing, and I'm like,
it's also
I figured that out the hard way too.
It's also not intentional because if you copy other cards, not just with Potion of Illusion, just other ways to copy like a card and then to summon it for lower mana, and then you conjures that, it works like how it was supposed to.
Yeah,
so it's just a bug
just an
with
inconsistency.
Potion. Yeah,
it has to be an inconsistency. Like
it's not a bug. It must just be a new thing.
No.
Well, they would have to change all the other cards.
Yeah, that's the only time it does that.
Like for instance, like if you use Shadow Essence. Like when you and you get a 5/5, like that would have to make it so that when you conjure something you got off of Shadow Essence, although obviously this is a priest card, so like, and it's an old priest card, it would have to give you like a 6-drop or something, like every card would have to work that way if it was going to be consistent. It seems like Potion of Illusion is just broken.
Yes, but I mean, they haven't said anything. I mean, Darrock Brown just like posted about it like, oh, this is a thing now. And then it was like, yeah, it's they didn't say anything about it, but it's just a thing. I don't know. Like that's
it's an unintended bug.
I don't think it's a bug though.
I think
you
it really
they slid in that change on accident without saying something to one card that acts like other cards, and they just want it to be different and it go under the radar. You think they were trying to silently nerf like the non-existent turtle mage or just
I
mage?
feel like they would have changed it by now. I don't know. Maybe I have to like complain on Twitter about it more. I don't know.
I think that's what you definitely need to do, Dan. I think you need to complain on Twitter more, first of all. And secondly, I think it's a bug. I think you're wrong.
It's a bug. I'm pretty sure it's a bug, and it'll be changed soon. They just probably don't know, like, don't want to roll out a patch immediately after. They just probably want to like wait a week or two when they had other stuff rolled out, like on Tuesdays when they do like updates for WoW and stuff. They'll probably just slide in an update for Hearthstone there as well. But for them to like for them to be like, oh, we made a mistake with our most recent patch that broke potion, our bad, we're gonna fix it in a couple days, people would be really mad because then they're notified about it. But if you don't really say anything and then you just fix it in like a week, they maybe feel like that's just a better way to tackle it. I don't know.
I mean, this affects games so much though. That like that you like have to like you have to fix this. Like you have GM going on, right? Like there's no way.
All right. I'm willing to wager a Chipotle burrito on this.
I'll double that. I'll double it to
my
a
gosh.
Chipotle burrito, chips and salsa, or guac, or their shitty queso, whatever the hell you want. I'm up in the ante on this. If
oh
it's,
my gosh.
I'll bet is that like
so
a gifted sub? 2 gifted subs?
Yeah, that's like 2 gifted subs or like a $5 donor. Or something.
I'll take whatever bet you guys want on this one, honestly.
I bet it, but I feel like Rob and I are on the same page here. So we'll
so one of us. What Draco, do you want the bet or do you want me to take the bet? Because we need to solidify this.
We'll both
You're gonna pay out both of us? Is this big gains?
Well, you both have to pay out me, and I would have to pay out both of you. Yeah.
All right, Pogs, I'll take it. You heard it here, folks.
2 gifted subs each.
I like tacos.
2 gifted subs each. All right.
Yeah, but somebody did tell me like, oh, it's because of the way that potion is worded. But if you look at the wording on Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, it says the same exact thing. Like they cost 1, but if you conjures the stuff that you get from Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, then you just get the regular things. So it's just like it's really weird. Maybe they'll just reword it on potion. I have no idea, but. Yeah, I don't think it's a bug. I think it's just really strange that they didn't say anything about it, and it's affecting everybody every single day. So just be careful, guys. This is I'm just trying to forewarn you about this circumstance here.
Yeah,
that's
guys,
all right.
Make sure
I'll send you a fly swatter.
Your scams. D-Money looking out for all the scammers. Make sure when you conjures your 1 mana 1/1s into 9 drops that you know that they're going to turn into 1 drops, because God forbid that you don't get your 9 drops for 5 mana.
You're gonna blade dance it away anyway. All right, why are you concerned?
It's true. Control Warrior on the top. Well, obviously this is like Skipper Warrior, right, Rob?
So I see Skipper in there, yes, but for those of you who are unfamiliar with this new chart, so the chart we were just looking at, this meta is all of the ranks, period. It's just all games, all players, all ranks. This new one that we're looking at is just top 1,000 legend. Is this for every region or is this just one region?
This is all of the regions combined.
Whoa.
Okay, so this is top 1,000 legend, so the best of the best for all regions combined. And we have Control Warrior and Highlander Hunter at the top there, which is not surprising.
Aggro Demon Hunter, though, coming in on the top of tier 2. That's nuts to me. I've seen a bunch of people playing it this week, and I'm just like, wow, look at you guys go. But hey, okay. I don't feel like playing it still, but
I see a decent amount of it. I don't mind playing against it because you clear their board in the early game and then they have to wait for Skull to reload, kind of. So it's not a deck. That Demon Hunter just doesn't bother me. It's one of those classes that you kind of like, they do what they do and that's what they do. And when you lose against it, you're like, okay, well, could have mulligan better, could have, utilized, AoE better, but yeah, it's not a class that bothers me at all. So seeing it up there is no big.
You're blindsided, Rob, actually. Because you're blindsided by the RNG that's in the game right now. Because you're like, oh man, I hate all the RNG from all these other decks. Like DH is so, like, I'm okay with DH, but really, like if you dissect it, like it's not okay. All right, there's broken cards in DH still after like 8 nerfs. All right, I swear.
I mean, there's broken cards in every class. We make this
Yes.
argument every time you say that. I know. You know this. There's still going to be broken cards. I mean, the other decks have to have powerful cards to stand a chance against the other decks with powerful cards. You know? And yes, Demon Hunter's in a good spot in the meta. But my argument to people saying we need to nerf Demon Hunter, it's like it doesn't have a bad it doesn't have a bad matchup. That's what everyone's like thing is. It's got like 2 bad matchups. It's not fair against the field because it's like favored against everything, whatever, you know. But like the matchups that it's favored, it's barely favored, you know, like it can lose to everything. Like playing a paladin, like you can win as the Demon Hunter still, but it's more likely that you lose. And against Druid, it's more likely that you lose, but you can still win. But and against Mage, like you can still lose. Against like Priest, they can still beat you. Like every single deck, if played very well, can beat Demon Hunter all the time. So it's not like it was when like back in like Ashes of Outlands where aggro Demon Hunter was just good against everything by a ridiculous margin to the point where like if you tried to play Shaman in general, you just lose because Demon Hunter queues into you and they remove all your stuff and then you can't play. There's no matchups that Soul Demon Hunter just like eats. Like even Face Hunter beats it a lot. You know, it's not even, and the whole deck has heal blades. You know, and you can heal like 15 in one turn. But the problem is like Face Hunter can just kill you. So it loses to the deck it's supposed to be good against as well. So
yeah,
Also,
I don't buy it.
I think an interesting thing is when Demon Hunter first came out, like there was no need to run any like neutral cards because the power level of Demon Hunter cards were just really good, right? So there was like very little neutrals. It was just all Demon Hunters. But if you look at like some of these more aggro Demon Hunter builds, like there's a lot of neutrals in there. There's not just a lot of like only Demon Hunter cards now. So like maybe just the annoyance with Demon Hunter D-Money comes from the power level of just fast decks right now. That's the early game package. You know, the power level of Ferocious Reader, the power level of the 1-drop, you know, summon a random demon thing like the animal companion stuff. So like I'm looking at all the cards in aggro Demon Hunter right now, like that it has highlighted, and there's literally, I think, 1 or 2 that belong to the class. The rest are neutrals.
I mean, I haven't played against an aggro Demon Hunter this whole season.
Because of Reader. It's because of Reader. Let's like that. The whole deck is the way it is now, you know, because like that's a neutral card that's just like a crazy draw engine. So you can just make it like really like heavy with like the early threats, like and the whole concept of like Sidekick is really good in Demon Hunter because all of the minions have like 2 health, you know? And then Sidekick and that Intrepid Initiate have this like really crazy synergy where if you're on coin, you can play the 1/2 and coin out the 1/2 that gives something 2 health. And then on turn 1, you have a 3/4 and a 1/2. And that's like, that's like a lot of tempo.
My
Yeah,
beef
it's a turn
is not
1
even
5/5.
with,
Yeah.
my beef is not even with aggro Demon Hunter because I really don't play against it. I don't think it's really that great. I'm surprised to see it so far up on here.
We're gonna see a lot of it this week, evidently. If it's on here, that means it's gonna be poking right at you.
I've literally played against 0 this season and like maybe 1 last season. I don't know.
I've seen
Very
a couple.
strange.
I've seen a few of them pop up. To be honest, when I may not be in like the top 1,000, but this is top 1,000.
Is this top 1,000?
Yeah.
So this is what you should be seeing because you are
I've
top
never seen
1,000. I mean, I've seen it like I'm hovering around 14 to 1,500, and I see a little bit of it. It's like 50-50, honestly, between the shard and the aggro. About a 50-50. So.
I don't know. All I see is Soul DH, and Soul DH, if it gets the like,
it's
if
from
it
Europe.
gets the perfect curve, like it's like pretty unbeatable. Like the cards are just a little too over. I know there's so many cards that are overtuned right now, but like I definitely am not saying that only touch Demon Hunter. I think that Mage should be touched as well, and I think other classes should be touched as well, like Warrior. I don't know what else off the top of my head, but I feel like there's Priest could be touched, sure. I feel like there's certain cards that that Soul DH has that are just like a bit too good synergistically, like Blade Dance for one, and also like the Soul Shard Lapidary is just insane.
Blade
like,
Dance is very strong.
Yes, Blade Dance for 2 mana. It's
a card that's
needs to
strong
go to 3.
in tandem with other cards in specific circumstances.
That's what I'm saying. Synergistically, like that deck is like literally like perfect. Like it can do like everything. It's kind of similar to
Tempo
like
Mage,
Enraged
where all
Warrior.
the cards make more cards that make 3 mana giants.
Sure, but I would compare it more to like Enraged Warrior, where they can gain armor, they can do like a shitload of damage at once.
Yeah, but it's Enraged Warrior is a hard deck to play. Like to know when to pop off, to know when to not, to know when to draw.
That doesn't mean it's not too good.
That's
or
true.
just like not good for the game.
I mean, all decks, most decks historically that have been top tier decks have a hell of a lot of synergy, Daniel. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know,
I understand, but
like
there's a
Cthulhu
point
decks.
where
all cards revolved around buffing Cthulhu. The synergy is too much.
Yes, they can't all have Cthulhu in this house.
Sorry to shut you down.
Just saying that the way like it's such like a tightly, it's hard to describe, but like it's such a tight knit community of cards in Soul DH.
You're also playing the people that are very good at playing Demon Hunter, Dan. Or D-Money. Sorry, I keep calling you Dan. I apologize.
You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's a boomer joke.
And anyway, but so like the actual thought process that goes through the mind of the Demon Hunter, which D-Money isn't usually familiar with, is that like, okay, so you equip a weapon, so that gives you Blade Dance reach. And then you have to think about, does my opponent run weapon removal? If the answer is no, then you almost never hit because you don't waste the charge for the smork damage when you know that there's something specific with the blade damage reach that you have to hit. For instance, playing against a mage, you know they're going to pop off turn 4 or 5 with their Sorcerer's Apprentice, do a whole bunch of nonsense, and then maybe plop one of those 8/8 giants down. So as the Demon Hunter, you generally have to think like, do I have another Marrow Slicer in my hand? Because I have to hit and then equip the next one. Because if I lose my weapon, I'm not going to be able to get to an 8 damage Blade Dance with the amount of mana that I have in the hand. So you have to prepare for these specific breakpoints on the health with the weapon durabilities and be super patient and like, you know what I mean? Like
I'm never bashing. I'm never saying it's not hard to play or anything like that. I feel like any deck at the top level, like you have to have a very good understanding of the game. You have to play it a lot to really understand like all these situations and like how you should be playing them. I feel like it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those decks that I think is a little too overtuned, and I could totally see it getting changed soon. I feel like we're already at like the 40-minute mark or so, and we are only on this part, so we should probably keep going.
Yeah, we have the 10-minute intro, so we're at 40 minutes. Yeah, so we got 20 left, but we do have some good stuff to talk about here, and I think we've covered the meta in our thoughts. Yeah. Okay, so let's head on over to our first topic that is not meta bound. And it's going to be the Firebat retiring from competitive Hearthstone, which is a pretty big deal for those of you unfamiliar with Firebat and what he's brought and offered to the community. He was our first World Championship winner in Hearthstone, the very first one. He piloted quite a few of the same decks we see today, I believe, Miracle Rogue, Face Hunter, and I don't know what the third one was, but he's been around in the scene a long time. A lot of people love him, and he's been a pleasure watching throughout like his tournament career.
He's a good personality. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see that he's leaving, you know? I mean, I don't think Blizzard probably would have wanted this to happen. You know, this is like kind of an against the grain circumstance from the way things ended here. Because Firebat's good for the brand, you know, as like the first world champion that was still competing in the competitive circuit. And he generally has like a pretty transparent like vibe. You know, like he tells you, he's like, I don't really like playing in this meta because, you know, I don't like that the cards, they generate more cards and they don't start in your deck. Like that's just the way he talks, you know? So he was good for the brand. I don't know. And it's kind of crazy.
That was a great impression.
You think so, or you
No.
being sarcastic?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, he's just like cut straight to the truth. Just yeah.
He doesn't really beat around the bush, even when he's talking
No.
about like the plays that he's going to make, and that's kind of what makes him an enjoyable pilot to watch. Is that he's very like direct with. Like,
Well, isn't he
the way
friends with
thinks.
Zalay? And Zalay does that a lot. It's like, all right, what am I gonna do here? All right, I have an 8/8. I'm gonna hit face because 8's a lot of damage and that kills him. Like,
Pretty much,
like
yeah.
it's just yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact about Firebat, he did remove me from his friends list after he won the world championship, but that's all in the past, all right? But anyway, yeah.
I bet he wouldn't have done it if you could have as many friends as you wanted. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's not. Do we blame him or do we blame the developers to give you a limited friends list?
I think he just needed room. I don't blame him at all. He didn't really know who I was. But I'll never forget it. And he he's even though he's quitting Grandmasters, he's still sticking with like Hearthstone content. So I feel like it's still fine for the game. It also just opens up room for new people into the competitive scene. So it's not really that bad in my opinion. He's still like I feel like his main thing is going to be Battlegrounds now, and that's like what he wants to do. So as long as he's really happy, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, he's covered a lot of ground in Hearthstone. He won the first world championship, right? And then I'm pretty sure the following year or the next year after that, he was a caster for the world championship. So he's done both the competitive, the casting, and now he's entering more of the entertainment, content creation side of things.
He's becoming a very, very successful streamer.
Yeah.
Good for him though, despite this negative circumstance, probably making the best of it, and his like response to the whole situation was like super humble and professional. And I appreciate that when they're coming at people that have a following as large as him, because it sets a good example for a way to act in that circumstance. So
he had said like that he wasn't really giving it his all, like he was just like playing in the Grandmasters, but like he could have like tried a lot harder. So like it's respectable that he's like trying to move away from it, like instead of like practically like auto qualifying for it. And he's just like, you know what, like people that are gonna take this seriously, more seriously than I, like deserve that spot, and that's respectable. So yeah.
Do any of the other world championship players play in tournaments at all? I know Osaka, there's memes now.
I'm not sure about Osaka really. Yeah. Hunter Race definitely does though.
Okay.
Pavel sometimes does.
Okay.
I haven't seen him lately, but probably
Lion.
Also,
Lion does.
BK Lion. She's been
killing it.
Yeah, she does well in the Grandmaster or in the Masters tournament as well. I don't know if she's a Grandmaster right now, but
she's not.
She has been still at the top of like these tournaments. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to see.
And I am also doing pretty well, and I'll become a world champion eventually. So this is like you're just seeing it beforehand.
This Twitter's hilarious right here. I was showed Rob this before we went live. It's Rummy saying everything ready for my relegation bracket. It's got to twit longer if I win, twit longer if I lose. Because everyone, obviously, if you guys are on Twitter, you've been seeing their thoughts about the Hearthstone meta and GM and their lives and how they feel about their significant others. Everyone's been posting these long articles about why they think the meta in Hearthstone sucks because of the randomly generated cards and the swing turns that matter more about RNG. And then they generally will elaborate on how they think Grandmasters could have been better. And though that they are blessed to be a part of it, it hasn't been the experience that they dreamed it would have been. And I think I'm covering them all. Do you think I'm doing okay?
No, you're hitting all the key notes here.
Yeah, okay.
That was pretty good.
And then at the end of it, they talk about how like even though they won and they're going to be doing the next one and they're hoping that things turn out better, that they're going to remain positive despite not feeling good about things. Or if they lost, they will write, even though I lost, I'm still going to be streaming Hearthstone on my Twitch. You can come and hang out with me and give me money if you want. And yeah, Hearthstone's still gonna be a part of my life, you know, and I'm still gonna play it, even though I'm
So
not a
sad.
grandmaster.
Dude, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
At
I summed up all
combining.
the Twitlongers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just summed up like a massive amount of text in like 1.5 minutes. That's good.
I read
That's
them
why
all.
you come here.
I can
That's
tell.
why you come here, chat. All right, so I got another Twitlonger for you coming in from Bloody Face. I found this just the other day. I posted like yesterday or the day before, and I read it. And as someone who enjoys and has played Magic before I played Hearthstone, as you guys know, all right, I guess I'll dive into that. So RNG, as we know, randomly created cards. For example, you used to be able to play like a Ragnaros. For those of you unfamiliar, he's an 8-mana 8/8. At the end of the turn, he would hit something randomly for 8. You knew exactly what he was going to do. You could extract the value from this very expensive card immediately, and you don't have to have it sit around, for example, like Ysera. Actually, she gives value right away. What's something that doesn't give value right away? That's big. I don't know. Colossus of the Moon. There you go. 10 mana, 10/10, Divine Shield. And we've moved to a Hearthstone meta and sets now that release cards that just give you value immediately because you don't expect that minion to live past maybe one turn. Like just the power level now is if you play a card, if it doesn't do you something right there, it sucks. And we've moved to like getting immediate results from cards. And this moves away from the Magic sense of being able to play cards like Planeswalkers, Artifacts, Enchantments, where the longer the card is on the board, or depending on what you put this card on, you get value from it each and every turn. It allows you to slowly but surely kind of squeeze your opponent out of the game and give you
It's
value.
kind of like an end of turn effect, right?
Yes,
But
it's similar to an end of turn effect, yes.
It's like a combo end of turn effect, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, so like in Magic, Planeswalkers, if left unchecked, can win you the game because you keep building up like one of their effects, or it's like +1, draw a card. So, and you get a loyalty counter on it, and then it's -10 after you've +1'd enough. Is like discard all cards in your opponent's deck besides one. You know what I mean? So if it lives on the board for like 5 turns, you have this big payoff, very similar to like Rin and Warlock when you were able to destroy your opponent's deck. Like that was just like things like that, and that's like an engine mechanic. And Hearthstone has moved away from engine mechanic-like things to instant gratification. It's just going to do some amazing shit right now. So
yeah, the Soul Fragment thing was like them doing bombs in like the reverse, which I don't really think was like I don't think this even comes close to like the engine concept. You know, it's like a second currency you use, but it's just like the bomb concept in reverse. Like they heal you, or you can just eat them and hit people or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fragments would be an alternate currency, not like another engine, correct? Yeah. Just trying to understand the concept. So
yeah, so his example that he writes is Cult Master. Cult Master, if sits on the board, will draw you cards forever as long as you have minions to trade in it. It's an engine that if you have something for you, it just goes. Death Star Rexar, however, is a card you play and it just produces shit forever with no need for anything else. So Cult Master good, Death Star Rexar bad.
Okay. Interesting.
So the thing is, like, are we just doomed in the tombs? Like, what? How? Like, are we like just so deep into this randomness that we can't get out? Does he have like a solution for us?
No, we have the set coming out at the end of this year, right? And then next year we have a pretty big rotation that's going to hit a lot of cards.
All the quests.
Yeah, all the quests that give infinite value.
The Highlander cards.
The Highlander cards. Yeah. So for Wild, yes, we're fucked. Wild is fucked. Wild is doomed. But for Standard, if they, are printing the right cards, there's also good RNG and bad RNG, and I think we've been over that as well. It's just to a point of which there's no return, like Yogbox. Terrible card. Terrible. We have good cards like Ysera. It's a pool that pulls from that's random, but it's a pool that you can calculate to. You can play around those cards. You know what those cards are. So,
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
Kinda.
So this is just an interesting post that for those of you who have played Magic or play Magic and Hearthstone, that you can understand, like, Planeswalkers are really awesome, satisfying cards. That's one of the reasons I loved playing Magic when I played my Grixis Control, was playing Necrobolus. Like that was just super fun for me. And also artifacts and enchantments to like power up your stuff and like, you know, modifying the state of the game. Like imagine if you had a Hearthstone card that right now it's like 2 or 3 mana. He gives an example like Caged Mine. Your opponent can only generate 1 card per turn, like randomly. That modifies the rest of the game. So like your opponent only being able to randomly generate or discover 1 card per turn every turn. Like stuff like that modifies the rest of the game, that has an everlasting effect that is very, very useful. So just stuff to think about.
So do you think that like the next set is going to be like a weaker set then to try to
I hope so.
I don't.
do that?
It's the last set of the year. That's supposed to be the strongest one. I mean,
Oh man.
think about dragons in comparison to the previous year, you know? Like we
Yeah,
still
but if
play
they-
with those cards.
But if they print really powerful stuff now, we're going to have to wait 2 years for it to rotate, right? So then
Yep.
when the new year hits and the stuff rotates out and they print new good cards, if those cards aren't anywhere near as good as the cards that they printed this expansion, we're just going to be in the same cycle, right? So eventually there's going to have to be a set that just isn't that powerful, but may have things that like use the engine mechanic or some different thing that's just not discover a random something. You know what I mean? Like there's going to, at some point, there's going to be a set that is significantly different in a hopefully good, but possibly could be bad way.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I saw somebody suggest like field spells or something, and I thought that was kind of cool. So that kind of like ties into what you were saying, like
Enchantments,
Yeah.
where your
artifacts, stuff like
opponent
that.
can only like do like whatever, like 1 created by thing per turn or something like that. So that would kind of be interesting with that. But
Yeah.
if this next set is going to be like as powerful as the one we just saw, then maybe they're just like gonna wait till next year for this. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly, but I mean,
You can always make the
anything-
last set more powerful because it only has 1 month of overlap with like all of the previous cards from the other year. So if like they're gonna print like another Highlander card that's like insane, like it should come out at the end of the year. So like
That's
it
true.
only has one season to be in the same pool as Zephyrs and like DQA or something.
yeah, that's
I don't
also true. Yeah. It'll be interesting. We also have like, again, we keep talking about it, the possible upcoming new game mode with changes and stuff they mentioned. So hopefully we'll hear
We've
about that
speculated
soon.
about it a lot.
We have speculated about it, but it looks like the new game mode is not going to be what we were talking about with like that rotating kind of meta.
Yeah, it's definitely not. That's been
Because
almost confirmed.
Cora had
sad.
posted that on Twitter, and then
What
I
did-
commented and I was like, "Oh, this could be. I feel like this is going to be the new meta or the new game mode." And then she's like, "That would be pretty stupid if it was, because like I work for Blizzard." And then I was like, "Oh, you do?"
Yes.
So yeah, it's not going to be that. So I don't know what it is.
So that was her idea, that she was like, this would be cool. And then you were like, yeah. And then she was like, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that sucks. I wanted a
Yeah.
nice rotating meta. Hopefully I'm not disappointed. Maybe it's even better than a rotating meta.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's just be positive here. I've been negative lately. It's just going to
Maybe
be
it's
better
like a
than...
slot machine. Yeah. You just put money in and then you get like random cards and you go against each other.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. You guys want to jump
Oh yeah,
into
Q&A. Yeah. I forgot the scene for it, so I'm just gonna like put this here. Just gonna
Nice.
Yeah, this'll do for now.
So any questions you guys want to ask, all 3 of us in chat, you know, just feel free to throw it in there. You know, this works. Yes.
Yes,
I mean, I
this is
guess
the
I could-
Q&A section, guys. Q stands for questions, A stands for answers. So you provide the questions,
Brush.
we provide the answers. Yeesh.
Ooh, this is
Classic
thick.
Hearthstone would be an interesting game mode.
Oh, this looks
Never happened.
gross.
Wow. This is so quality. We've
Dude,
really
this
improved
is-
on a lot of things with this podcast, but this is not one of them.
This is good.
Oh,
This is
you're
really
one of those
good.
and sign people. Oh no,
Does that bother you?
that looks like a euro or something. Like I
You
don't
look
know.
like a Euro.
I'm gonna take
I
this
mean,
question
kinda.
right here. How does Demon Hunter tech against Paladin? Demon Hunter techs against Paladin by running both Wand Makers and a Mag Theridon in your list. That's the way you do it. And if you're even feeling really zesty, you run one of the additional Penflingers as well, because Penflinger is something that you can do to get around those Divine Shield minions so that your Blade Dances will actually kill them. So yeah, you want to go Penflingers, double one Penflinger, 2 Wand Makers, and 1 Mag Theridon is what you want to put in your list if you're trying to target Paladins with Soul Demon Hunter.
What's the name of the dragon in the new logo?
Malygos.
Malygos?
It's the aspect of magic one. So it doesn't look like the Malygos classic card, but it looks like, but it was created off of the Malygos aspect of magic that's in Mage.
The 5-mana one.
Wand Makers because you want to consume magic. So Paladin needs to have the board, and having any minions on the board to contest their early minions before they get buffs off is just considered good. Getting additional consume magics is awesome. Blade Dances help you. Twin Slices help you get your Blade Dance early on to get rid of like the first big threats they do. And you obviously need to use Skulls. So sometimes the double jumps will help you like refuel. So there's a lot of, and mana burns obviously just kind of stop them from developing what they need to. If you hit them on like turn 5 or something, they can't play their 4/6 taunt. So pretty much all of the options that you can get out of Wand Maker, except a few of them, are kind of helpful. And even philosophy to duplicate your mag, so you can do that to them twice, is something that has won games against Paladins with Demon Hunter. Yeah,
Exactly what he said. Yes. How would you fix Shaman, and why do you think it would help the class? We've theorized this before on the podcast. It's really hard to really theorize like what changes we would make to it. We've talked about like maybe making it less RNG based with certain cards like
Lightning Storm.
Lightning Storm, yes.
And like the overload on that card is just too much of a tax to even play it. And that is like a card you need to have and like control Shaman list. It's like that early board clear. And the fact that their board clear takes away 2 mana from like the next turn is just not doable in this kind of meta. It's just too bad. So that card needs to be fixed if Shaman gets a chance, you know?
Yeah, Lightning Storm's terrible.
Yeah.
I need wireless headphones. That
Is
must be
Highlander
cool.
Mage good now? It's good for D-Money.
It's not bad actually in the meta. There's a lot of Druid still, a decent amount of Druid, which it does very well against. And actually, well, you know, as long as you don't queue, I posted this on Twitter the other day. As long as you don't queue against DH or Warrior, then you're gonna be fine. But that's a lot of the ladder. But maybe in your little pocket meta, there's none of that, then you could do it. If you dodge all those, then it's actually pretty dang good.
If that's the exact circumstance that happens, yes.
What off-meta deck are you most enjoying right now? Either playing with or against?
That's a Rob question.
Oh, well, I have been really enjoying my big greedy shaman with King Pharaoh's Fist and Eye of the Storm, and then even running an additional hoarder to get back the fist. I mean, that deck's really fun. Another one that I like and I've always liked is just Big Warrior, Rattle Gorin, Troublemaker with Dimensional Rippers and Commencement are fun. Another one that I'm gonna try out today because we've been seeing a lot of Warrior and they put bombs in our deck is that Big Warlock Quest. Our big quest Demon Warlock, because we run Reform and we can complete the quest, and then we can Reform and Hero Power, and then it turns all the bombs into our deck into legendaries, which then if the quest is complete, we get 0 mana legendaries, which is cool. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've been playing some Highlander Paladin recently, and
That's off meta. Damn.
I've
watched you play it. Yeah, with Deathwing.
Okay, I took out Deathwing recently. He was a bit of a meme, but he was a fun meme.
Mm-hmm.
And he did win a couple games. But yeah, Highlander Paladin's been really fun. I go like 50% with it, which is like cool. At like top 200. Not too mad about it. It's a pretty fun deck, honestly. I've been enjoying that. Also, Highlander Warrior is quite fun too. I just love Highlander decks. I'm a sucker for Highlander. I don't know. I can't help it.
Do you think Soul Demon Hunter will get nerfed?
Yes.
I don't think it'll get nerfed in the very near future. I feel like if it stays super good and people act like D-Money, then it will get nerfed though.
It'll get nerfed in a week.
We probably got like a question or two left.
Yeah, we got like one more question. Yeah, we're at an hour and we're about an hour and 5-ish. So we can do one more good question and then housekeeping.
We could do what card can you not wait to see rotate out?
That's such a hard question. Let's do it. That like
Demon Hunter class? No, I'm kidding.
That's not going to rotate out, man. That's not an answer. I'm honestly, I'm kind of looking forward for Dino Tamer Brand to be gone. That is like a card that is very annoying to play against for a lot of decks. And I mean, I love Hunter, but that card is insane. And it's like, it just ends games. Like if they have it or don't have it, it changes the entire game. So I will be excited to be able to play against Hunters and not have to worry about an 8/8 with charge on turn 7. That'll be great. You know?
Yeah.
That's my pick.
I think I would like. I think I just want Galacrons to rotate out. That's my thing.
Oh my God, Puzzle Box rotates out in April. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. For me, it would have to be the Lackeys, which D-Money hit on because of the Galacrons, and the other one I had it in my mind and now it's gone. It was there. Oh, Druid. I'm interested to see what happens to Druid when they take away the 2-mana Breath and the Overgrowth. Like, I know Druid's supposed to have a ramp, but they just feel like if the Druid doesn't draw the ramp, they lose. If they draw the ramp, they win. So when they take away the ramp, I want to see like what the Druid class turns into, or like, I don't know. I just feel like those cards are just really powerful. And when I see them played in the early game, I'm like, well, I lose. They go like breath into Wild Growth. They're at 10 mana and I'm at 4.
I think those are all good options. D-Money, did you pick a card?
I said Galacron.
Okay.
Like all of them. I don't know. I'm just like so over it. You know, it's just like I just want something new. I don't know. I'm over the Galacron, the Kronks, and whatever. It's just
Reasonable. All right.
So this is going to be the first like commercially released podcast. So thank you guys all for being here. This is going to come out on like iTunes and stuff eventually. So look forward to that this week. We'll have like new ways to just listen to this in an audio only format. And thank you to everyone who is here for that special occasion for the 30th Metabreakers podcast. It's been a while, you know.
It's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on Tidal. It's going to be on anything that you listen to podcasts on. You will find the Metabreakers podcast. All right. Just saying. Not right now, but very soon. I would look out for that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Another good one as well. I think we covered a lot of stuff. Hopefully chat enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day, guys. If the moderators could link both D-Money and thank you Deku is already on top of it. The wonderful mod Deku is. Check out D-Money's channel and Draco if you haven't already. Most of you have because they're awesome. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in and talk to you soon.
Love you, Shaq. Love you, D-Money. Hey, you guys have a wonderful week and I look forward to talking to you guys later. Peace.
No, you have a wonderful week. Peace out, guys.
No,
Peace out.
you.